Welcome to PCWizKid's Tech Talk. Today we're looking at the EVGA gaming RGB combo that I have here. The Z20 keyboard and X17 mouse. That's right, from EVGA, RGB all over on these peripherals. But hey, let's get right into it. First things first. I got this a couple of months ago, to be honest, and I didn't do the review because I wanted to actually get my hands and play and actually feel for the quality, the performance, and whether or not, this was something that I would want to recommend. I'll tell you, after months of using these two, I definitely recommend it. And I usually don't start right off the bat in my videos talking like that, but I have to say that this is the best bang for the buck. In the box, you're going to get some few extra keys. You can see there the key remover. I love the fact that it's very easy to use. It comes with a removable wrist rest, you can see here, which is magnetic, by the way. It attaches very nice leather feel to it, very cushiony, so very comfortable. Unlike the hard plastic ones, good ergonomics on that slant there, as you can see. And it doesn't slide all around the place. As you can see here, it's really well thought out when they designed that. So kudos to EVGA for that. On the aesthetics, on just looking at it from the outside, it's great to look at, standard size. But what I really look for is how are these components created? What are the features? How fast does it react? Sure, it's got RGB lighting on the sides. It's got a lot of features, but really I'm looking for the extra features, like the time of flight sensing system, which I'll talk about in a second, the real 4K reporting rate, the optical mechanical switch that I told you about, the LK Light Strike optical mechanical switch. These are the features that really make a difference, not just the way it looks from the outside with the colors. Here is the length and the weight, in case you're wondering, about 2.5 pounds, if you're wondering. And, one of the things that I like a lot about this is the multimedia features at the top here. So the roller bar for the volume, the multimedia controls. I love that little section there. The time of flight there, the sensor that basically can tell when you're close to the keyboard or away. The little tactile feature there on the WASD keys. Everything is thought for gamers that are going to be playing for hours and hours, so that you have all these little things that amount to a premium style keyboard here, right? So all these features, whether it's the processor, the 32-bit ARM Cortex M33 processor that it has, the accuracy for that 4,000 hertz report rate, the capability here to plug in your mic and headset, for example, into the keyboard. So you've got a USB plug at the back, sure, but you also have a regular RCA jack for a headset, so that's great. Now, controlling all of this is through, obviously, the software. So through the software, you can access both the mouse and the keyboard. We'll start off with the keyboard, and you can see here that there's all these profiles that you can set up. Sure, the keyboard comes with the 5 macro keys standard, +1, the E key there, but you can also control the rate, the clicking. The sounds are terrific when it comes to mechanical. They're just light, but I can really feel the click, which is really good if you're looking for that mechanical feel, not too loud. The regular lighting effects are basically something that a lot of you might be wondering, okay, what can I control when it comes to lighting? Let me show you. Right here, for example, I've got just the standard defaults are just flickering away. You've got all kinds of pre-built effects, obviously, that you can choose from, or you can customize each key individually and set things up the way you want. Even by zones, you can do it too. I didn't have any problems myself with choosing one of the pre-built lighting effects, which I thought were terrific, well thought out. They obviously, take into consideration first-person shooters or MMOs or any other type of strategy RPG game or whatever that you might be playing. They know that you're going to want to configure the keys for those color schemes and things to light up appropriately, right? So that's been taken into effect here, and of course you can customize that yourself. You don't have to settle for what comes out of the box. So kudos again for EVGA for a well thought out layout here and options, right, to make it free for you to customize. Now, as you can see here, I'm basically trying out different color schemes. You can see the zones in red there kind of highlighting. Here's the red, white, and blue for the US flag, for example. There's all kinds of neat effects. Look at that one there, just fanning out there in red. All kinds of stuff. Just, the possibilities are basically endless when it comes to this. But again, for me, it's more about comfort, the standard layout of the keyboard, being able to do key assignments and assign things to behave the way I want, right? So you can set up a primary and secondary key, then you can use the FN key, the function key, to invoke your secondary action instead of a primary action for those keys. So, I mean, this is really great because it'll basically give you more options when it comes to setting up your macros, to setting up multifunction keys, things like that. So again, I like the capabilities here. Pretty much standard options that they provide here as well, because many times you just want to access your email and do certain types of actions, and those are pre-built, ready to go as well. And you can control, again, remember the TOF sensor at the front of the keyboard. You can also tell it what you want that to do. So if you're away or you come close to the keyboard, it should detect your presence and perform a certain action. Now for macros, this is pretty much standard. You can record your actions and set it up the way you want, add additional delays, and then put in what key do you want to assign that macro to, for example, and then save that. So that's pretty much standard there. And then from the TOF point of view, like I said, depending on what you want that sensor at the front of the keyboard to do, you can set up a few options for that as well. I mean, right now, this is a huge bargain for just $60 US, as you can see right here on the EVGA website. I'll add the link below if you're interested in it. Terrific deal for the amount that you're getting, 3 years warranty. Now let's switch over to the EVGA X17 gaming mouse. This is a nice ergonomic mouse, comes with some weights in there, as you can see, and the manual. Let's dive into a little bit more details on the specs. You can see the main sensor here, the PixArt 3389 optical sensor with a 32-bit ARM M33 microprocessor. Omron switches, yes, up to 50 million clicks is their life cycle. As that's a lot of clicks if you ask me. And max DPI of 16,000. Wow. Tracking speed 400 IPS, acceleration 50G, and as you can see there, the width, length, and height, in case you're wondering, and the weight. Of course, you can add the additional weights, the 5-gram weights in there, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Looking at the ergonomics, the styling, I really like this. It looks like something futuristic out of this world, but no, it makes perfect sense. When you put your hand on it, when you glide your fingers into position, everything fits almost like a glove. Just turning it around a little bit here so you can see the EVGA lighting effects. You can see where the RGB is coming from. Basically 3 zones on that one that you can customize, of course. And the side buttons, I really like that they have the sniper switch there and some additional buttons that you can control for macros. I really use those buttons where my thumb is right now. I constantly use those, and very easy to access the buttons there on the side, and the sniper button as well. Now, the other area of concern is, well, what if my hand is too big, too small? Well, you can see here my hand is average size, not too big, not too small, and it fits really good. Especially also from this side of things, you can see here my hand coming in on this side with the pinky finger following very nicely, falling on the side there, and the additional 2 fingers just lying on the buttons. Taking out the 5-gram weight, you can see that there's 5 of them. You pop out the underneath there, and you can just add the additional weights if you want the mice to kind of be a little bit more heavier, on the heavier side, and that's kind of where it's at when it comes to these functional features that come with the X17 mouse. Now, through the software, you can do some controlling as well, like I showed you with the keyboard. Well, same idea with the mouse. You can have different profiles here, up to 5 of them, where you can set up your DPIs for each of those, the report rate, and so forth. So maybe you have a certain game that you're constantly lifting the mouse a little bit up and moving it around really aggressively. You want to change that and have a different profile for that type. Or maybe you just bring a very smooth flight simulator or something that you don't need to have that much movement. Or maybe you're playing a game that has a first-person shooter, sniper, something like that, and you want some very strong accuracy for that one. So, a variety of options here that you can control and set up and calibrate, of course. Now, I know you're thinking, okay, what about those 3 zones for the colors? Well, yes, for each of these profiles, you can have separate colors, schemes set up for those as well, not just the DPI. So you can go through setting this up and saying, okay, for this profile, it's going to be standard surface, nothing fancy. It's not, and here are the different zones and how I want them to light up, right? So that way you can have certain games with certain types of lighting effects, for example, right? So that's obviously pretty standard. Again, some pre-built in effects that EVGA has added, but if you want to customize it or add it to be random, you can do that as well. I like to customize the colors sometimes and just set up a specific color scheme between those 3 zones, so that way it matches with whatever I'm trying to do, or the mood that I'm in, or maybe I'm trying to coordinate with my system, with the keyboard, and all the other components that are in my desktop. So moving on to the key assignment and the macro editor portion of this. If you go into the key assignment, you can then specify, obviously, for certain portions you do specific things, whether you left click, right click, scroll, middle click, shifting the DPI levels back and forth. Those are pretty standard, but maybe you want to go deeper into something more specific that you want that specific button to do. So you can do that. You can see here that there's lots of pre-built options in there for you to select and choose from, and you can assign those same options to different buttons on the mouse. Now, when it comes to the side of the mouse here, like I said to you, I use that a lot, and basically I'll record a macro and then I'll save that macro and assign it to those side buttons. So for example, maybe doing Fortnite or some building game, and you want to quickly build a fort or something to protect yourself. Well, you can program that, save it, add it to the side there, quickly access that macro, so that way in Fortnite you can stay ahead of everybody else. So that's just a quick example, right, of what I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be just for Fortnite, but you get the idea on this one. So software is thorough, gives you what you need, has all the features to get you going with any type of game in reality. Good amount of buttons, obviously, that you can program. I showed you them a second ago. And the keyboard likewise, right? Between both of them, you've got enough macros that you can set up both on your mouse and the keyboard, should you get both of them as a combo. And that's basically what I would recommend you do. Get both of them, because they look great on your desk there with your desktop and your PC. You can set things up and have a cool combo between both of them. This one's going for roughly $20 US on the EVGA website. What a steal, if you ask me. And again, I'm not making any money off of this. I'm just showing it to you as it is, as it comes. I'm going to add the link so you can go directly to the EVGA website and take a look at it. You can see there the color combos of both of them. I set them up to a default glow of blue, white, purple, which is really cool. Looks really nice. Definitely recommend this combo if you guys get a chance to pick one up. Definitely go for it. I'd like to thank EVGA for providing it. Comment below. Let me know what you think. And again, thank you for watching.